guys, so it's officially publication day for The Creakers by Fletcher, and I wanted to do a review of this because I've managed to already read this book, mainly because I got it 2 days early, thanks Waterstones, and I absolutely love this book. It's another middle grade novel like The Christmasaurus from last year, and this one is slightly more creepy because Lucy, this girl here, has to try and find the adults after they've all disappeared from her town of Whiffington overnight. She has no idea where any of the adults are. The kids are running riot and crashing cars into things. They're TPing trees. They're like throwing eggs everywhere. They're causing a right old mess. And Lucy wants to find the adults again because while it's fun not having adults around for a little while, it is still very, very scary. And what makes it scarier is the fact that she has got monsters under her bed. But not just any old monsters. She has these creatures here, the Creakers. And they are very, very scary. Because the Creakers are the ones who've stolen all the adults. And this story all follows Lucy as she's trying to find the adults and finding out about the Creakers and the world the Creakers live in and things like this. And it is absolutely brilliant and completely and utterly, like, it's so Tom is what I love about this. Because I'm a huge McFly fan, I've followed McFly for the last 9 years, so I feel like I've gotten to know their individual personalities quite well at this point. And like I said with the Christmasaurus, Tom shines through this book so much, and that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love it. But another reason why is because it's so cleverly done. I love everything about this. I loved all the little details and all the world building and everything else, and it was so simply done, but at the same time so effectively done. Like, I couldn't help but absolutely love this book because there's like so many different little details about it that I absolutely adored reading about, because Tom speaks directly to the reader in between chapters, and he breaks the fourth wall in a few places and things like that, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I feel like that's really going to engage kids a lot more with stuff like that when they're being spoken directly to by the author. But it's really going to sort of bring kids into this world and make them quite scared, but in a fun sort of way. I wouldn't say it's going to terrify them to death over here. I think it's a fun kind of scared. Sort of like, I don't know, what's a semi-scary... I'd say it's sort of like Hotel Transylvania, but slightly scarier than that film, because that film's more sort of like fun monsters, and the Creakers are kind of scary and kind of disgusting. So I think kids will really enjoy this. I know I certainly did. I know I'm slightly biased because I'm a massive McFly fan, as I've said before. But I did seriously love this, and it really brought me along with the story, and I loved all the little details that Tom put into it. I loved all the little references he put into previous novels that he's written. And there's an honourable mention to William Trundle and a few other things like that. There's also one McFly reference in one of the drawings in this, which legitimately made me tear up, because I'm a massive fangirl, and it legitimately made me tear up. I'm not kidding, there were tears. But there's little stuff like that the whole way through. There's little references to real world people and things like that. I feel like the adults, that's going to be a really fun sort of thing for them, because while kids may not necessarily get the references to certain people in the real world that are written into this, adults definitely will, and I think that they'll find that very enjoyable while reading this with their kids. Or just reading it by themselves, to be honest. I don't think you need to necessarily be a kid to read this, because it's like a fun story anyway, that's sort of like a quite light, quick read for an adult, while being quite challenging for a kid to read, especially if they're just starting out learning how to read by themselves, which is quite fun. But I would definitely say that this is a really good, fun read to read as a family, or at least with one parent to their child, because while it's all heavily drawn on, so you've got big drawings like this and then little bits of writing, so it's not too intimidating for kids to read. I feel like it's a really good one to read with kids when they're just learning how to read by themselves, and sort of like parents can sort of help them out with it, but also it's challenging enough that they'll learn how to read more confidently, but it's not too hard that they'll give up halfway through. And also the story's so inventive, I think it will encourage them to read more into the story and things like that, and there's a lot that they can discuss with their parents and there's lots of little jokey bits and stuff the whole way through, which I really, really loved, and I just generally really, really loved this book. It was so beautifully done, and I think I would have appreciated it a lot more as a kid, but as a 21-year-old, I still very much enjoyed this. I am very jealous of Tom's writing ability, quite frankly, because it is brilliant. But also, another thing I really, really enjoyed was Tom's use of names, which sounds a bit odd, but there's quite a lot of names in this that sort of relate more to the characters or to the place where they are and things like that, which is brilliant. I won't say what the Woleb is for spoiler reasons, but the Woleb is very brilliantly named. They also live in the town of Whiffington, which is a bit of a pun on the story and things like that. You've also got a character who's actually on the back called Ella Annoying, who is very annoying, and which was quite fun. You've also got mention of a librarian who is called Paige Turner and things like that. There was little jokes like that the whole way through, which I really enjoyed, and little puns of naming things was something that I really enjoyed reading about. And I just generally, this book was just an absolute genius read. I love the cover of it because it's all sort of bobbly and you can feel it and things like that, so that's quite a fun experience. And it is absolutely brilliant. I feel like it's a really good one for parents to read with their kids, but also for adults to read by themselves or stuff like that, or maybe older kids to read by themselves anyway. But it's just that sort of story that you can read at any age and enjoy it anyway, and I feel like it'll be a really good experience to read it anyway because it's so clever and it's so well done. But also, I really enjoyed the writing style of this. I know I'm a McFly fan, so I am biased, but I do really enjoy Tom's writing style. I find it really easy to read. It brings me into the story more, and it makes me sort of like really want to read on anyway, and I get swept up in the story through his writing. And I also find all the use of world building really good because it was really subtle, but it worked really, really well the whole way through. I'm very much a fan of this book. I think I enjoy this more than the Christmasaurus, so I give it a solid 5 stars, like I gave the Christmasaurus, but I think this one pips it just slightly because this has got things I enjoy more, and it's more to my sort of taste because I'm not really a Christmassy person. I'm more of a gross and disgusting fart joke kind of person because I'm apparently 5, but I really, really enjoyed this. I definitely say to pick it up if you like kids' books, or if you're a McFly fan, or if you're a parent trying to find books to read for your kids. This is definitely a good one to read. It's also beautifully illustrated by Shane Devries the whole way throughout, and it's really interactive and it's really good fun, and I definitely say to pick this up and give it a go because it is really, really fun. And that's my review for the Creakers. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up, and if you've read this book, please tell me what you thought of it down in the comments. That'd be great. I will also leave the links to all my social media down below if you want to check any of those out, and if you want to see any more of my reviews and any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, guys, bye.